one. I played a gong sound effect for this.
Yeah, that's
what now?
he played a gong.
The same thing.
Oh, a gong,
we were
okay.
talking about how I
Yeah.
am a certain percentage Asian. Sorry, welcome back to the Degenerates podcast. And instead of me saying a slur, I thought I'd do a
2%
gong.
Asian.
It's a percentage. I don't remember what percentage it is. But I am back with my lovely co-host here,
0.5.
Boy, the Grimmy Boy, and the Danny Boy.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
Grim.
We actually got the gang all together this time because it's been difficult trying to coordinate when people have responsibilities.
Imagine.
Sorry for being a parent
has
and having a
those?
job.
Yeah, it's so fucking irresponsible.
No,
So
yeah,
gay of
rub
you
it
to
in.
have children.
Yeah.
We watched The Long Walk, which I got some opinions about. I didn't say anything whenever we were sitting here, but I got some opinions about. Long Walk,
Oh, boy.
directed by Francis Lawrence.
Mhm.
He is also known for, I believe, like all of the Hunger Games series. And then I looked up Constantine, which hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take. I fucking love Constantine. I thought that was a really good
A lot of
movie.
people
It's a great
do.
movie, and
A lot
it
of people like
definitely
it.
felt very Hunger Games during
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
watch.
Also,
He
I Am
also
Legend.
did
Yeah.
I Am Legend. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So he has a genre
Ooh.
that he's going for. Yes.
I
Grim.
don't
It's-
like I don't like that one. He really fucked up I Am
either-
Legend. That's not
it's
the point.
either-
That's not the
yeah.
point of the podcast, but I don't want to go. I can go on a tangent.
You
The
have to,
podcast
yeah.
would be
The
about me
alternate
going
ending
on
of
that
I Am
movie.
Legend was so much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Dude,
Even
it's
then,
not like-
even the alternate podcast, it's not even. It's based off the book. Nothing from the book is in that movie. Like it's never mind. We're going past.
He does have. It seems he has like a what's the word for it? Like a design that he follows because like everything he
Yeah.
does
Okay.
is some like post-apocalyptic or dystopian.
Dystopian is
hellscape
definitely
kind
the
of-
word
Yeah,
for his shit.
I
Yeah.
don't mind some changes about the movie to adaptation, shit like that. Book to movie, you got to change some stuff. Maybe it's less interesting, but that movie was terrible.
I didn't mind I Am Legend all that much, but like I do know what you're saying.
They just shouldn't name it
Yeah.
I Am Legend. They shouldn't be like based off the book. And it's like go fuck
Hi,
yourself.
well,
it's
welcome
not.
welcome to V-Generates podcast.
It's-
Today we're
yeah.
talking about I Am Legend.
Legend. I'm taking over the podcast. We're talking about I Am Legend now.
In fairness, right? Because the book is the
Yeah.
book at the time would have been like 50 some years old because it came out in
Mhm.
like 1950s.
Mhm.
So you can kind of forgive a lot of the people that like were not aware that it was written on like the book or like not knew anything about the book. If it were like a recent book,
Yeah.
then
No,
yeah,
I'm
like you could definitely like be up in arms about it.
Listen, I
think.
don't even read a lot of books, and I know this fucking is whatever.
That is fair.
Long Walk.
Back to The Long
Yeah,
Walk.
Long Walk.
Based on the book about Stephen King wrote the book.
He did
Yeah.
write the book. So we start out and we get told that all of these men are participating in a lottery, which fucking it just seems like the
Do we
draft.
want to?
Kinda like the draft.
Do we
You said
want
they
to
all-
preface? We're gonna talk about the movie, and now we're like getting spoilers in.
Oh yeah, I probably should say that. I always forget to
You
say
keep
that.
forgetting this.
Everybody fucking
I'm-
clicks on the
Spoiler warning time, guys.
All right, well,
If
we
we're
already,
gonna talk
we already
about the
spoiled
movie-
I
if
Am
we're gonna
Legend,
talk about
so
the
might as well
movie, it's all
fucking
gonna-
yeah. I mean,
It's all gonna be
you
spoilers.
clicked on this knowing you're gonna
Spoiler
fucking talk
I
about the
know.
movie.
Die.
You should know
People
better by
die,
this
they
point.
walk and they die.
You didn't
Yeah,
fucking
people
click
walk,
on this for me to
they
fucking
die.
cuck you for
Trigger
45
warning,
minutes.
That's the
walking.
podcast. That's the podcast, everyone.
Yeah, that's the whole episode. Credits roll now.
Kinda sure. That's all you need to know.
Like I said,
Yeehaw.
trigger warning, walking.
Walking. There's a lot of trigger warnings in this for sure, because there's a lot of crazy shit that happens, which you wouldn't expect
yeah.
that to be happening in a movie about walking, but they do manage to pull off some interesting shit.
Yeah.
So we have a lottery, which is basically the draft system, which we very quickly learn is essentially you're not really doing this because you want to. They mentioned very quickly, who the fuck have you ever met that has entered this of their own will? I just want to preface that. I know it comes along later in the story a little bit, but I do feel like it's necessary. What?
They do say that it's not required.
It's
to
not
sign up.
required, but they
No,
do
Yeah, but
mention like
everyone
everything is
signs
so
up.
But
shit
everyone
that
does it.
everyone signs up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like the draft, but for different
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it just feels like it's this I have no options thing, and everybody has to sign up because they're in this dystopian third world,
I mean,
fucking America.
I mean,
Like, they have an
yeah,
option, but like, if someone's fucking putting a gun to your forehead, pissing in your mouth, and says drink, do you have an option?
Yeah, this is like it is very easy to compare it to the draft because like technically you don't have to sign up for the draft, but
Yeah.
you do have consequences if you don't.
Yeah.
It is true. I'm gonna have a hard time trying to explain this world and this general
Uh,
sequence of
They don't
events.
go into it too
you want
much.
me to?
Yeah,
The
honestly,
world.
they didn't do too much of a deep dive on that. So John, I feel like, is the
Yeah.
most.
I have the deaths written
So
down. That's like my big thing that I wrote down like each death.
yeah, that's a good. I'll let you take the deaths because there's a lot that happens in this. Like
There is.
it ramps up quickly. So basically, like I'll give you like the brief of it. This is a alternate like timeline to American history. They never actually established what happened, but this is the 19th anniversary to what they referred to as the Great War, and this was a war that America lost.
Yes.
And because of us losing the war, everything is shit everywhere, like in the entire country. And the whole purpose of the walk is in like the words that like the major says, this is to inspire patriotism in the rest of the country. Anytime we do this walk, our GDP goes up like doubles or triples depending on like how well it goes. Basically the whole world is still going through like at least America is going through another depression at this point.
It does seem very third world country at the moment. Like it seems like shit's just completely fucked everywhere. It does, yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. This is based on the book, like we said. There are like a couple of differences, not necessarily like with the world setting. The setting is still pretty much the same. The only like major differences was like the amount of people. Because in the book, it's 100 people. You don't really get to. You only really follow like X amount of characters, similar to the movie. And in the movie, it was 50 teenagers. Which, by the way, I just want to say, like the main character is like what Ray McGrady, I think his name was.
Ray
Yeah.
Was it like
Garrity?
McGrady or McGarty?
Yeah.
Garrity?
Gardy.
McGarty.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Garrity. I don't fucking know.
yeah, we're just gonna call him Ray for the
There you
sake
go.
of
Ray's
like.
so easy. There you go.
There's like, we pretty much are following like some really cool characters. So you have Pete McVries, Billy Stebbins, Arthur Baker, and what was it? There was Gary Barkovich, Hank,
Alan.
who we love, Hank.
Well, I fucking all right. I will preface this. I have said Hank as Alan every time I wrote down his fucking name in my notes. I don't know why the fuck I thought his name was Alan. Is that just a stereotypical Asian name or something? Am I doing something fucked up? I don't know. I thought he was Alan. And
You know a lot
I've
of
wrote
Asians named Alan.
I feel like I do actually. I don't know why. Let me just look up Alan real quick on Google.
I'm gonna say how
Alan
many
Asian
Asians do you actually know?
IRL like none.
Yeah, I'm
uh,
gonna say. I
uh,
don't think so.
I don't know like any minorities to be completely honest with you. We live in a very white place in humanity. There's a lot of Allens. Yep. All right. A lot of Asian Allens. I was right. Continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including Allen Iverson, of course.
Dude, you're good.
It sounds like you saw many that was like, yeah, no, yeah, there's a lot of Allens. Moving on.
I know a single Asian Alan, therefore all Asians are named
Asian
Alan.
Alan.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I just remembered that back in college I had a student advisor and his name was Alan and he was Asian. That's a thing too. All right. I'm cooking.
Yeah, you were right, June. Yeah.
He's thinking
Every
about
Asian is named Alan. That's it.
Apparently. I
That's
don't
the only
know
one he
why.
meant. That's all what they're named.
Yep.
That guy was definitely more of an Alan than a Hank though.
That's terrible.
Oh yeah. I don't think Hank would have like the Hank definitely didn't fit him.
No.
I liked Hank though. He was
Oh
funny.
no, great fucking character.
Yeah.
We get introduced to all these different like boys though. And I was gonna say the main character who is I'm pulling up his name. Ray Garrity. Ray Gardy.
Ray.
Garati.
People gonna know his name is Ray.
Yeah, we're just gonna
and,
call him Ray, like
yeah.
I said. The actor they chose for this looks like he has gone through what did you say, 2 divorces?
Yeah, he's gone through
I
two
actually
divorces.
looks like
he
that
pays alimony.
How
Yeah.
old was he? You
22.
looked up
The actor is 22.
the actor's 22. Yeah,
Damn,
see, I told you he was in his early 20s.
I
the
just
For
fraction.
could not.
reference, Pete's actor is 33 and looks
Yeah, I
younger.
believe that.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
nuts.
Pete looks like he's like first year of college.
Black don't crack, baby,
Uh,
but white is not all right. I guess.
which one
I
was
don't know.
Pete?
Pete was the black dude. The
guy. No, he looks way older. He looks like
he looks good
like
for
he,
his age.
No, he does look good for his age, but he did look older than Ray. He I would say probably like late 20s. I did not
Couple
think
black
like
guys
30s.
on a tour recently.
Uh, I am gonna say because you did mention it. This guy also was responsible for the Hunger Games. This feels like a major
Yeah.
miscast that like you would have seen like fucking every single child actor as being put in this movie instead of these guys.
Yeah,
Well, okay,
Not to
so
say anything about their acting skills. These guys did great for this movie.
there were definitely
here's
Oh,
the
some.
the
literal
acting
Oh,
in this
acting
movie
was
was great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the question that I had was there basically everybody signs
Yeah.
up for it. Was there an age limit for them to show up? Because they all looked to be like
Uh,
teen to young adult.
in the book, pretty much everyone was a teenager.
Gotcha.
So
It's pretty much like the whole thing about like draft once you turn 18, you're kind of signing up for it.
yeah.
That's kind of how like I drew that comparison.
It's probably like every like so many years or whatever, and then it like all the 18-year-olds or whatever get put into this walk at that time.
Distance
Not
had to be
all the 18,
boys,
but like
16 to 18.
take it. Yeah. Oh, 16 to 18? Okay.
I will also say that because I'm not going to talk on it too much, but there were like a couple of characters that were like not in the movie that were in the book.
Yeah.
There were some, I will say this now, there were some creative liberties taken with this movie compared to the book. Not that they did bad with it, but if you are familiar with the book, you might then have some questions at the end of the movie about, like, well, where was this character in it? And the answer is they just weren't in it.
Yeah.
I I did have, for the most part, I did enjoy the characters' little archetypes that they had, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
also I felt like every character except for Pete and Ray, while giving some sort of exposition about themselves, also felt so shallow. If that's,
Eh,
I don't know why, but it just like maybe it's
It
just because of the
wasn't
lack of time we're getting
shallowness,
with them.
but they definitely kind of fit like a niche like stereotype of the
Yeah,
kind of person. Like you
They
had
fit, yeah,
the religious guy, you had the fucking like street
the
punk.
New Yorker.
oh,
Yeah, you had the
yeah.
Boston attitude. You had, like
yeah.
that.
Okay. Well, I mean, like the religious guy wasn't like he's just like no, I believe in religion. He mentioned it once. Other people kept
Yeah.
bringing it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
know,
fair.
but
So it wasn't
They
like
did
it
kind of
wasn't
like
like
it wasn't
that type
put
of
on him, but it
archetype.
was just him as it like the character. Just
but
very
it did a great job at making me feel like I was back in middle school with how much they talked
Yeah.
about sucking each other's dicks.
They did do that. There was a
They did
lot
do that.
of conversation between characters of like,
At
hey
the
man, you
beginning.
trying to suck my dick? And it's like, God damn.
You got that
Taking a
scar on your
piss,
face from
taking
sucking
a
dick.
shit.
I
Yeah,
know
you
you were
got that
there.
scar on your face from sucking
Well,
a dick.
it was mostly from that one guy. Who I
Yeah.
think he was secretly gay.
Well,
That's when he kept
yeah, he might
bringing
have
it
been.
up.
Let's hop into this shit because
But
you have explained
Yeah,
enough.
we spent like what 20 minutes talking,
yeah,
and
13
I've
minutes.
explained the
the
fucking
the lore.
world. We haven't
Yeah.
even talked about the movie.
I before we get it like nitty gritty, sorry. I do think it was a smart idea to lower the number count
Yeah.
because even though Ty says the characters seem shallow, I thought it made it better to get closer to them.
I thought that we
Like, oh,
never really
I
like we got close to some characters. Don't get me wrong. Pete,
yeah,
Ray, we get this like exposition about their lives. We understand a whole lot more about them.
yeah,
But even with like Pete, you know that he's just like, and here's some spoilers for you. We know that he's basically just this kid who's gotten fucked in life. He's basically just gotten no good luck whatsoever. And all we really know is that he's had shit luck and that he doesn't have a family. That's kind of what we have.
yeah.
And with Ray, oh, my daddy's dead. Ooh, he got shot for being, he believed in something. Ooh, America.
He
Um,
listened to the Beatles once and got shot,
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
yeah, like I see their point and I get this exposition, but I still feel like I have these base level like feelings of
What
these
you telling me?
characters.
You wouldn't have a chip on your shoulder to go kill the person that killed your father for
No, I
listening to the Beatles?
definitely would. I'm not saying anything about Ray and Pete. Ray and Pete perfectly fine, understandable.
Yeah.
But like
Well, those were the two main actors. Of course, you're gonna
yeah,
get to know
yeah.
them more.
But also just like
They just didn't go into
anything
like
really about them.
everyone's backstory for 50
And
minutes. You know?
I think they did a really good job with the fact that even the characters that we didn't get super attached to, like I'm not trying to jump ahead or anything, but like we all remember Ankle Boy.
Yeah.
Yes,
we all remember tank legs.
they did good
Like,
do a good job
Yes.
of making us like actually memorize these people for the most part, because there were so few of them that the ones that actually fucking matter are like
More
they actually
prevalent.
matter.
There's only
They're
one
more
scene that
prevalent.
I would say that we'll get into later that would have been way better with a lot more people, but we'll get into that when we
I
get there.
I think the only thing that could have possibly benefited from having more people is more kills. If we were going to fuck around and make like maybe like a compilation of just like some decent little fucking kills with prosthetics or something. But it's fucking army. They're just shooting people. It like for the most part, if they're just going to do what they're actually like intending to do and just execute these people,
That's why I said there's only that one part. It'd be
yeah,
better with
yeah, that's what I'm
more
thinking.
people.
But like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong though. This does not mean that there were not good kills. And like for a horror movie, there are a couple that really fucking actually slap. And the prosthetics, the practicals, fantastic.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I don't think
a
they used
couple
any
of them
digitals.
actively caught me off guard, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they may use some like digital blood splatter, but other than that, I didn't see any like actual.
It wasn't like so egregious that you
Yeah,
would be upset at it, you know?
go ahead and hit this, Joni. Hit this bitch.
You want me to hit this bitch?
Hit this
All
bitch.
right. So we starting with the actual movie and not
Yes,
skipping
Yeah.
ahead.
absolutely.
So, cold opening. I know 23 minutes in, we've been sitting here, however long it is. We
You
get this
follow for our
cold
personalities,
opening.
bitch.
Yeah, I know it's great. This actually was like a really cool opening because it starts off with this like typed out acceptance letter, basically sent to the main character. That's like, "Congratulations, you've been accepted into the long walk," and it tells him that like, you know, you're gonna walk and you're gonna there's unimaginable riches and your wish at the end of this walk if you win. And they mentioned this is where they mentioned that like, you know, it's the 19th anniversary of this war that basically tore apart the nation. We see the mom driving Ray to this like military checkpoint. uh she's, you know, get out of the car and she's like, oh, why'd you bring your baseball? Okay, I don't want to go on another tangent because the baseball is important in the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she basically is like, hey, you know, why'd you bring the baseball? And she gives him his favorite cookies. And this is when we made the observation that he looks like he's paying alimony.
Yes.
um they basically like they all go through this checkpoint. We get introduced to basically just the characters that you're gonna like know, and there was like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Every other person just did not matter.
For the most part, yeah.
We had Ray, Pete, the Art, which was the religious guy. We had Hank, who was the Boston Chinese man. We had Strebbins. We had,
Rank,
what was his name?
Rank.
What's up?
rank.
Yeah. We had Rank. We had
Who was the Native American guy?
Curly.
Collie. That was Collie.
Yeah, then we had Curly too.
Curly. We did
was
have Curly.
the youngest one there.
Yeah.
Perkovich.
And we got introduced to a couple of people. The major is like standing on his APC. He doesn't even give them the full rundown of the rules. He basically just says, you're
think
gonna
it's-
start walking and you're gonna keep walking.
I think that
Yeah,
this is like a very like mainstream prolific event in everybody's lives. Like I think it's like a yearly like Hunger Games essentially. Everybody does have in my mindset at least, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like everybody does have this like we watch this, we know what the fuck we're doing kind of thing. So everybody kind of
No, they
knows.
do know.
Yeah. So there's not like a necessary point for going through rule by rule or whatever, but
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. They basically laid down. You got to keep walking at what
3 miles an hour.
Three
In the book
miles
it's
per hour.
4,
yeah.
but in the movie it's 3.
Yeah. And then it was like, you got to keep that pace up. You get 3 warnings. If you know, then you get shot. And if you step off the road,
It's
like
auto
on the
shot.
sidewalk or anything, you get immediately shot.
And
Yeah.
then your warnings get reset for every hour
Yeah.
that
So
you
if
walk without a warning.
so if you got 3 warnings, you got to walk for 3 hours, and then they all go away. Then you can have 3 warnings again,
yeah.
and that's basically the rules.
Yep. We get the signaling shot to start the walk, and they all start walking. I will say, because like they introduce us to the characters, and every single one of them is at least like they might fit like a trope or an archetype, but they do it well. That
They
it's
do.
not like an offensive trope, you know.
Yeah, I'd agree.
No.
like they do like expand on a lot of the characters' motivations and stuff, their superstitions, and I do love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I do feel like, I know you guys say archetypes, but I do feel like they're more realistic than
Oh
anything
yeah,
else. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen archetypes in a lot of movies, and they seem a little bit more realistic to me
Yeah, they
than
did seem
just
like people
archetypes.
rather than just archetypes for sure.
yeah.
I don't know. I still did feel like a lot of characters were shallow, even like the ones
Because
closer to the
they
mains.
weren't
Like I know, I
they
know,
weren't the main
I
characters.
know this,
Yeah.
I know this.
They
But
weren't
you,
the two main guys. I'm
but
sorry to say
even
that.
even with Ray and Pete, I did still feel like some shallow to it. But like, I mean, maybe I'm just asking for too much of my characters.
In a walking movie, yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, I get it. I don't know.
Which I will say, for an almost 2 hour long movie of
About
them
walking.
basically just walking, it was
Yeah.
really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fucking fine movie. I don't know.
Sounds like you've got some opinions. We'll see.
Yeah,
I
I was gonna, like,
do.
do you want them to just like sit down and talk about their love lives, or like they do
No,
kind of about it? But, like, what do you want?
I
What
don't
makes them
know.
seem real to you?
I just like I'm sitting there, I'm watching people fucking walk, and yeah, you're telling me stories, and I'm getting occasional flashbacks, but also I'm just watching you guys fucking walk. I don't know what I really wanted in my brain. Maybe like more, like
You want more
chaos.
flashbacks in the walking movie?
Well, not well, like yeah, honestly,
It's because
probably.
I don't know
You
what more
wanted more
chaos is.
conflict.
I wanted more
What's the chaos
conflict.
gonna do to make you feel attached to the characters?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt like the movie was weirdly paced for me, at least. I
Yeah.
felt like I wanted more conflict. I felt like every conflict that came up was very forced at the same time. Like it's like, granted, there's a reason they're going crazy, but also like, it just feels like here's this scene. This guy is either gonna be so tired he wants to die, or he wants to fucking go crazy and do something stupid. And you can just see it at the beginning of the scene that like, oh well, this guy's gonna fucking die. He has something in his mind he's gonna fuck up with. And I mean, I guess that's how it has to be. But at the same time,
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel very deep.
Very natural, but
Yeah, it doesn't feel
Well,
really like there's no like natural progression to this. Like the only thing that I'm really getting to is that someone's gonna fucking, spoiler alert, fucking spoilers. If you don't want to hear this, lick my fucking ball sack. It's probably sweaty and fucking salty right now. You just fucking know the Major's gonna die. And you're just waiting. Oh, who's gonna fucking kill him? When's he gonna die? Who's gonna fucking throw hands with him? And I don't know.
Well,
Like
I
we
I
did
feel
so
like, what do you expect? What I don't know. I still don't know what this
we
point of you
we
not
did.
understanding the characters,
I understand the characters. It's just
or
like,
it's being they're
for
not deep
example,
enough.
here comes more spoilers because I have to explain it this way to really get my point across, I guess. Um, whenever fucking Hank died, you're like, oh, he's gonna lose the gum, he's gonna die. He loses the gum, dies in 5 minutes. Fucking, we like two or three of us called out Stebbins is the Major's fucking kid. He is.
we call that out in like the first 5 minutes of the
It
movie.
just
Yeah.
feels
Okay,
like I know it. There's nothing
I
to be left to the imagination. It's all just forced in front of
yeah.
your face, and it's like it almost
you
feels
are
like
pretty
the
much
'80s movie
given the
of
entire hand
you are.
right at the beginning of the movie, and
Yeah.
it's like, here's what it is at face value. But I think what really drives the point home is like, it kind of mirrors what the contestants are feeling as well, because
Yeah,
they know
you're right.
exactly what this is, they know exactly what they signed up for, and it's still really fucking hard to watch and like
Yeah.
live through.
Even
Don't
be a
get me
part of,
wrong.
yeah.
I feel
like
like
it's
these
not
are
gonna
the
be.
things that are gonna happen. Like they are gonna go crazy. They are gonna have their fucking ankle break or just die of exhaustion. These are the things that are gonna happen. But like,
Yeah. But I don't know if you expected, like, oh god, a nuke is. There's not going to be many twists
no,
and turns in the Walk Straight movie,
no, I didn't expect many turns, many twists. I was just kind of hoping for something.
unless the road slightly turns to the left, and yeah, there might be some twists.
Well,
But other than that,
like in my opinion, I kind of just wanted something to fucking happen where like the natural curve gets thrown off something. Like that didn't really feel like there was a like the natural progression of a movie where there's the conflict and then there's the fucking climax, and like it just felt like it was a we were barreling through just flatlined the entire movie.
I mean,
Like
the conflict was how long can you walk, and people fighting against,
So
will.
yeah, I will say
yes,
this is a It's not like a traditional like conflict, you know,
Yeah.
because like there's the 9 different types of conflict where it's like man versus nature, man versus
Yes.
man versus
Absolutely.
society.
Yeah.
I get the
This
man
is
versus
a
nature, man versus world, etc. Whatever this is doing, I get it. But it's still like if there's a fucking tornado, oh shit, there's a fucking tornado. But I, don't get me wrong. I know what this
But
movie is, and I know what I should be
you wanted
expecting.
storm chasers. You
But I
just
yeah, I
want-
was like,
storm
what is
chasers.
it?
I
Like,
wanted
okay, if a
more.
tornado
That's it.
showed up, I would be like, okay, that changes the whole entire movie. At that point, it's no longer the movie.
Like I get what you're saying.
Everyone would be dead.
It's just that like barring
Because
like the decent kills, I feel like this movie was a fucking
it was about the
sandbox
human
watching children
condition.
play it. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There was absolutely some special moments where they're like, "Yeah, America! Ooh, ooh, deep feeling, deep feeling. Ooh, my mom, my mom."
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It just felt so empty to me. But continue on. That's just me.
I want you to know.
My brain
No.
hurts from you.
No, this has got to be like the best fucking recorded podcast episode yet because
I
we've
hate
been
this.
here 30 minutes, what now? And we haven't even gotten to finish the first
10
5 minutes of the
Yeah.
movie because Tyro's
Mm.
having a crash out.
I'm a
For
little
some
bit crashing
reason,
out.
because I don't know what he was like. I thought there were gonna be anime characters. I thought there were gonna be twists and turns.
I wanted one
I thought we were gonna
twist.
get fucked in the ass while
I-
walking. I don't know.
I wanted one decent twist. We called like everything out that happened in the movie. Continue, Junie. I'm sorry. We're getting this movie.
no.
I feel like there was one good, decent twist. It was just at the very end of the movie.
I didn't even think that that was a
Yeah.
twist. I think that was just like what you expected to happen.
Kinda.
Well, you didn't expect that to happen exactly. You knew one of them were gonna die, but the way it happened.
Yeah, I
Didn't
guess you're
expect.
right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we get into this, let Junie go through the synopsis.
Yeah, go ahead.
there you
Go
go.
ahead.
There you go. Junie.
Continue,
You
Junie.
want me to continue with
Yes,
Yeah,
please,
yeah,
my
yeah,
sweet,
yeah.
sweet boy.
Yes.
You guys are free to interject like when we talk about this stuff, by the way.
I
It's
will.
okay. I'm having a great time with this.
I
So-
am too.
I want to say this is like first hour into their walk. We actually finally see someone, number 5. His name was Gary like Barkovich, I think.
I think.
We come
Gary?
to know him later as the killer.
Yeah, Barkovich is the fucking asshole that was talking about sucking dicks and killing
Yeah, if there's an antagonist besides like the general or whatever, he's the antagonist.
Yeah. This is like the side antagonist. So
Yeah.
he slows down on the bridge, has a rock in his shoe, almost gets fucking done in immediately because he's taking his sweet time untying and tying his shoes to get the rock out. They have they've formed like a small group. They've already started like forming a clique between Arthur, Pete, Hank, and Ray. And they're starting to talk about like, you know, what are they going to do with all the money? Like, what's their motivations for wanting to do this? And Ray kind of talks about how, you know, that like rich men don't ever enter the kingdom of heaven. Which is just kind of like his way of saying like he's not in it for the riches, he's in it for the wish. Which does kind of like allude to like maybe he's got some very good ulterior motive for being in this.
good
and-
intentions.
Yeah. They talk about how desperate everyone is for this. Like everyone in the world, like everyone in the country signs up for this because, you know, it's supposedly a willing thing, but like the entire country has just gone so to shit. And it does show that later on in the movie because like they'll go through multiple towns or like they're walking down this entire rural highway. And along the road, you see like every business is either busted up or closed down or broken into.
There's fucking
is
dead
a-
animals
It
on
feels
the
like
side of the
Nazi
road.
occupied France.
Burning cars and whatnot.
Yeah. It's a absolute like shithole to say the least.
Yes.
And it's basically like there's so much pressure on all these young people across the country to sign up for this. That like there's just like because there's no other alternative to like try and improve your family's lives. And this is when shortly after like we get to see the first kill, which was Curly,
they-
number 7.
And they do not ease you into it at all.
No, it
No.
is not like a slow thing. It is like
Bro just
It
forgot to
is-
stretch.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was one of the there were a lot of unfortunate people.
Oh,
like
Curly
same.
literally had a Charlie horse
Mhm.
and fucking cramps out in the middle of the road, and they're like, "Oh, first warning, second warning, third and final warning," then blam, and he's gone.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Like-
it was good effects too. Like his side of his cheek or whatnot got blasted off, so you
yeah,
can see
you,
like
you've got a
the
really
the
good
teeth.
like frontal,
Yeah.
just fucking face.
It was
pop.
like the bullet like rifled through his cheek and out side of his head kind of thing. It was nice. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And good practical effects. That's where all the stuff goes into. What I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the very nature of the kills too, because like it's not like anyone stops to mourn. They just keep on walking.
can't.
Even the soldiers, yeah, they just trudge on.
The soldiers don't give a shit at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could not care less. Their job is to
Yeah.
fucking kill people every day. Dick.
Pretty much. We get a neat little scene where the main character is swapping out his canteen, and he decides to diddle the rifle on the back of one of the soldiers,
He touched
and
it.
he
Yeah.
touches it. Said it was like a sort of superstition, like a knock on wood kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's it's a little weird, you know. It's
Yeah.
like when you get pulled over at a traffic stop and you're reaching for the officer's sidearm, you know.
Yeah, you know, he
You're
was
just
very
being a silly little guy.
he was kind of chill about it, which was weird to me, but yes, to each their own. What's he gonna
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
He's been walking
Like, hey,
forever.
that gun killed someone I met this morning.
It could have been someone different.
I'm just a silly little goose.
Just a little teehee.
We also get one of my favorites is when because this is when Pete turns around and starts pissing backwards.
That was really good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He was nice.
Uh,
Yeah, because in the movie, they can't just take piss breaks or shit breaks. They have to do it while walking at
Yep.
3 miles an hour.
So what else do you do but like turn around and piss backwards, you know?
I mean, it's
Yeah, at
fair.
the people walking behind you.
Does suck for them.
Yeah.
Not gonna have to like go off the track ever so slightly because there's like 5 extra steps is you living or dying essentially. So you would just turn around. You don't piss all
Yeah.
over yourself, I guess. I'd probably still just piss all over myself at that. Well, no, I guess that's probably a bad idea because it gets cold.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
So a little shortly up the road, we get our first like actual like spectator to the event, which is this girl that must be no older than like 14 years old who is cheering for the main
Yeah.
character.
Oh my
And
God.
it's kind of so like one of the things is that they're doing this in the main character's home state currently.
Mhm.
So you could say he has like some home team advantage in a way, but it does kind of raise the question about it because like you know there's only this one girl and she's standing in front of what looks like a convenience store that is very clearly like just going out of business or is already out the door, you know. It's a very like it paints a very bleak picture for this American dystopia that they have going on. And it does it well.
It does. Every little scene that they have inside of the cities does feel like this is not a place you want to be. It does feel like 1930s, 40s France occupied, etc. by the Nazis. It feels like you are under siege in the city that you are being occupied by. You know, I don't know. It feels uneasy for sure. Do a good job of
yeah.
making it not feel like a safe place to be.
It
No.
straight feels empty. That's like
Does.
the big thing. Like there's 50 people walking, and
Mhm.
then the trucks and the soldiers, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and then sometimes there's one cop.
Yeah, I was gonna say even when people do show up, it's like 3 at most until
Yeah.
the very end when it's like the last mile that they walk,
Mhm.
and it's literally just like, you know, even when like his mom showed up, it was just his mom, or even when the 14-year-old girl showed up, it was just the 14-year-old girl or just the cop. Like it was never like a big group of people, despite walking through entire towns.
Yeah. This is also like because like immediately after we do see like there's a great deal of camaraderie between these like the 4 main group. You know, they even start calling themselves the Musketeers.
Yeah.
And it's like they do have a it's such a this is like the kind of thing I would compare it to. It's like this is how like soldiers bond with people. They're in this basically life or death situation. It's you walk or you die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a trauma bond for
Yes.
sure.
And they do very good well like portraying these characters and their motivations like and how they're all trying to cope with what the hellscape they're going through.
This is like you're the only person that's going to meet like another person doing the same thing right now, and But like most likely, the person beside you is gonna die. So whatever you tell him is completely in confidence and going to his grave. So like,
Mhm.
whatever you say is you have free open reign. There's no one
Yeah.
barring you from saying something stupid that just spill your. It's literally therapy on the road.
I
Yeah.
think that they did
Yeah.
a really good job with that too, with Ray and Pete when Ray breaks for the first time.
Yeah.
And he goes off and
Mhm.
he's like, "You're just another fucking one of them. You want me to fall too. You want me to die, blah, 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 blah." And he's just like projecting all of these, like, you're just in it to win it kind of situation.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
meanwhile, Pete is like, "No, dude, like, that's not what this is about." He goes, "I don't want to see anybody die." And then, like, when he has, like, the full break, which is the scene coming up that
Yeah.
Junie's about to talk about, that's when, we see Pete's true colors.
Yeah.
I did write that if Pete dies, I'm gonna self harm. Just so you guys know, in Minecraft, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Continue.
So
Also, real quick, one more thing.
this is Hmm?
Why the fuck do they talk
Mm.
about littering every 35 seconds? Did you notice
well
this?
that's
That
that's
was
literally just
mostly
Hank
the
doing that.
Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
That's
who
Hank doing
was it?
that.
Hank. Yeah.
Every fucking time I heard, like, I was like, the first half of the movie, like every 35 seconds, I swear to fuck, I heard someone talking about littering, and I would
Yeah,
just
Hank.
look.
they were getting on Hank's case because he had the gum and he kept putting it back in his fucking pocket instead of throwing it away. And he was like, "I don't want to litter, man." He's like, "It's not biodegradable and shit."
Fair enough.
And then
All right.
and then he kept putting the fucking gum back in his mouth. And then that's when the whole thing, he was like, "Oh, when the gum goes, I go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You right. All right. I'm sorry for taking your time. Go ahead, Judy.
No, dude, you're good. That's just fine. This is actually like where it also just kind of shows more of the brutality of it because we actually see someone collapse in the middle of the road like he was having a seizure.
He was
In
like
fact,
foaming
I
at the
think
mouth
that's
and
pretty much
shit.
what it was.
Yeah. He was foaming at the mouth.
Foaming at the mouth, seizing up, and we just, the soldiers just kind of walk up to him. They're like, first warning, second warning, and then blam, he's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, they
And
don't. They don't just kill him outright, even though he can't walk. They still do the countdown.
They
Yeah.
give him the chance, which
Give him that
shows their
3 count.
humanity, which is immediately usurped later on when they shoot someone in the stomach and let them bleed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
I don't know if giving him a. I don't know if that's giving him a chance. He was in severe pain, seizing out there on the ground.
I mean,
I
you didn't really
think it's
have a
more that
chance,
like
but it was a proverbial chance. Like,
Yeah.
it could
it's
happen, but likely no.
you gotta
I think
you
it's
look
just
at it like
rules.
this.
Rules.
It's the rules, and they're all like they all knew what they signed up for. They all knew what was going to happen. Like, and he just kind of just it was his time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it's a very like dark and matter of fact way of looking at it, but that's kind of the world that they're in.
It is.
My favorite part of the movie was when Junie said, "Yeah, they've probably been walking for a few hours now." And I said, "Well, it does say 26 miles, and they're walking at 3 miles an hour, so you could probably do some
We did the math. We had to do quick math on
Uh,
that because it's a good thing you mentioned that because this is at the mile 25 mark. They've been walking for 8.5 hours at this point, roughly. And they're starting to feel the pains. Like pretty much everyone in the line is just groaning and bitching about being in pain. And this is when we see like a bit of connection between Ray because he's like, Hank is like, man, I couldn't eat some of my rations because that shit was like he was allergic to it, or he said he was allergic to the
Hank.
spam.
Yeah.
That was
Hank was allergic
so.
to the spam they were giving out.
Yeah, Ray gives him a piece of his rations to keep him going. It kind of shows the humanity of Ray wanting to to keep his friends in it because they have formed this group, this clique now that they want everyone to survive.
It's really
And
sweet.
this is when we get to see, because this is like not even moments later, we get to meet number 5 again doing his bit, and this is where we see him get another person killed.
Yeah.
This is Barkovich, right? And
Yeah.
Rank. I was really interested in this this death. Just the way. So just to describe the death real quick, Barkovich is antagonizing Rank. He just kind of keeps fucking with him back and forth. He's making him throw hands. He's getting him warnings because he has to keep going out of back and forth to stop and try to throw punches at him, and he keeps getting his warnings and shit. Eventually, Rank throws a punch, misses, and he slides across the pavement. And the little like practical effect on his face that he gets,
Yeah, the fucking road
Mhm.
rash.
yeah,
Ugh.
That was unsettling and also really good. Um, yeah, that little fucking road rash he gets and him getting annihilated, and then the entire rest of the movie that people are talking to Barkovich, he's getting hounded for being a murderer. It was good. I do wish one thing about this was that I kind of wish that there was like more of this. I do wish there was more like antagonization from people who are stronger, trying to fuck with other people just for like the shit of it, or like whether they're just bad people, etc. Like I do wish there was more of that, personally.
We did say something about that later on with Killer
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of what happens with him, and we're like, oh, how did he do that? What did he do that with? And then it would, like Tyro said, um having that on him and not using it on someone else to further his own gain.
yeah.
So
Again,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's not allowed or not.
it's
Um,
never explicitly stated in the
Yeah.
movie what the rules are, whether they're allowed to like beat the shit out of each other or not. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, they were fist fighting, and they didn't tell him to like cut it out or anything. They just
Yeah,
told
but
him to
that's
keep
different
walking.
from trying to kill.
They're gonna die anyway if they stop moving. If I get your fucking teeth
That's
kicked
that's a
in,
different. That's a whole different thing.
continue.
It's
I'm
a
looking
that's
this
a
up.
whole different ballpark.
Yeah. You didn't start moving because someone else stabbed you.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean said
Um.
we don't know if that's
Yeah.
is a rule or not.
As far as the movie's concerned, you don't. The only rules you know are that you keep walking or you die.
Yeah.
They
So
don't give you like the whole list.
I guess it wouldn't be too bad. But that being said, I could see why like thinking about it logically, why they wouldn't do that is to because say you're the guy who pushed someone's off the road and they get shot. Well, now you got a target on your back.
You
Yeah.
do. I
You
Like
am
made
looking it
yourself
up,
public enemy.
yeah,
and it's essentially it's not officially against the rules, and it's not like forbidden or anything like that. So you can do it.
yeah,
It's literally just if you go below the speed the fucking 3 miles an hour, or if you stop, etc., whatever,
yeah,
or you go off the road. Otherwise, it's not against the rules.
yeah. But I can see logically why you wouldn't want to do that on
Yeah,
purpose.
you're putting a target on your back, and anybody else is
Yeah,
not going to give a fuck about you. They're not helping you
because
whenever you mentally break.
because if you do that on purpose, you can kind of say the asshole who's egging him on. Yes, it was his fault, but he didn't push him down and kill him himself. Like
Yeah, it did fucking ruin
it
it for
was
the
still
rest of the movie
yeah, it
too.
was still his fault, but he wasn't like he didn't push him off the road and get him shot.
Yeah.
That be so like if you did that shit, I bet like the people would be like, well, let's get some warning ons out. We can take 3 warnings and just all of us pick him up and throw him off the road.
True.
You know, type
But yeah,
shit.
type shit.
Well, it would
You're
be
not wrong.
interesting to see,
It would be if they did
but
some like anything like that. Like there was just some sort of
yeah.
manipulation of the rules. I'd really like.
So I do see your point in that aspect. I would like to have
Especially-
seen that once at least.
yeah,
but-
especially from the perspective of Major's kid, because he
Yeah.
had like basically he knew the rules.
He
more
knew the
than anyone
knowledge,
else
yeah.
because
Yeah.
he had experienced more of it. So like seeing him manipulate the rules in his favor would be
Yeah.
pretty
I
neat.
was definitely looking for something with the rules being fucked about. Um, yeah. Next one is.
Yeah.
This one's pretty interesting. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah. So, this is actually like well, I did want to. One of the things I wrote down was like after this event happens, and they basically, isolate Barkovich from like everyone.
Yes.
So they're walking along. They actually see a crow that is crucified on like a fence post nearby.
Felt very Blair Witch.
Yeah, it was a very odd thing that like you can look at it as like an indicator of like some sort of omen, but really I personally don't think it indicated anything. It was just there as like a set
Yeah.
piece.
I
What do you
think
mean
it
it was
was.
just
Yeah.
bird Jesus?
It was
Yeah,
just
bird
Jesus.
Jesus. He died for their sins.
He died for the crops.
He died for
no,
the trinkets.
this was the fun part because they were talking about like hey, you smell that up ahead? Someone's got the runs and they're shitting up ahead.
Oh
So we
yeah, no,
see
that the guy who came up and said that he was the guy.
Stebbin.
Stebbin. He was like he's gonna be like I'm gonna write a book about the long walk. You know, getting everyone information. You're like, oh yeah, word is up there. The guy got the shits. So be careful.
Yeah, and we see this dude like actually pull his pants down and is shitting liquid while walking.
Yeah, he stops like a little bit. He stops and he pulls down his pants, shits, gets a
Just falls
warning.
from back
Like
up.
liquid. No, it's not like shot. It's just like projectile shits, and then
Yeah.
he walks a little bit more. He has to squat down again, and then he does that, and he has a second warning. And now the person with the gun, one of the army men, is like following him right
Yeah.
behind him, uh, and then he ultimately stops for a third
Stops to
time.
shit again, yeah.
Yeah, and then gets shot in the fucking face
I
Yep.
don't get it.
because he was taking a shit for too long, and he
This
died with his pants down.
it is like, because at this point in the movie you might have had like a few questions about like, okay, well, how do these people piss or shit? The answer is like you have to either piss or shit while walking, even like changing your clothes while walking, because they do change their clothes. Like you just don't see them do it. They've
Yeah.
changed their clothes a couple of times.
They do have backpacks on, like they
Yeah.
don't just pulling it out of their asses. But
Yeah. Then we get to see the first night of the walk, which
Yes.
we see the main character was basically, I don't want to say sleepwalking, but was basically sleepwalking, and gets woken up by Pete, basically saying like, hey man, the human body's a magical thing to be able to keep walking while sleeping, and you're keeping his time. But he did. This was also like he almost got a third warning here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is where it gets really fucking grim though, because then we see a sign up ahead that says steep incline. And this is when shit's. I think they said over the
14.
course of the night, 14 people got dropped or something?
Yep.
Yeah, 14 people died over that
Yeah.
night because of what happened there, and
Yeah.
one of them who didn't die
Oh,
broke his
yeah.
fucking ankle.
Uh-huh.
Going into that, they were going. There was a steep incline sign, and then like it was. That's what I'm saying. This is the part I was talking about. If they had more people, I think it would have been like a D-Day looking at like
Yeah.
situation. It would have been sick.
Yeah.
But because it did cut to him since Ray, one of the main characters, got a third warning. He was more focused on running up, like getting past that incline. So he was going faster a little bit, and you just see people falling left and right next to him. You see the people just fall over the left side. You hear the gunshots and all that stuff behind him, on the side of him. It was pretty nasty looking to see going forward.
I mean, very much
But
Ray would have lost here if it wasn't for Pete.
yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
well,
Several times.
Ray would have lost multiple times without
Yeah.
Pete.
sure.
But this is where the guy who I was talking about just a little bit ago, the guy who was writing the book about the long walk, he was going up this steep incline, and he made a wrong step, and he snapped his ankle.
Yeah. That was kind of gruesome. Kind of know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen here.
Yeah, and then past that, I think that's where that first night ends. They like time skip
Yeah,
to
Yeah, they
the
kind of
morning.
just skip to the morning.
Pete talks
Yeah.
him down, and then he tells him to pour the canteen over his head, and
Yeah.
then they make it to the morning, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're all Pete's trying to like cheer everybody up. Everyone's in kind of like
Yeah.
a bum fucking mood." And then it pans over to fucking broken ankle guy, and he's like, "My ankle's all twisted."
Oh
up."
yeah, I was gonna say like because we saw him limping in the back of that. Like, did he like fix his ankle? Like I was saying like if he didn't break his fucking ankle, he would be winning if that's the case. And sure enough, it cuts to a purple mangled foot dangling on the side where one piece of bone is sticking out the other side, and he just keeps limping on it going forward. Like he's trucking, he's trying his best. Mind you, he'd been walking on that broken ass foot for all night.
Also, just wanted to say, because I was trying to figure out what the journalist's name was, the dude who was writing the book. His name is Richard Harkness, was the character.
Yeah, Richard. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this was the character we were all kind of voting for, and he would have made it so far without that slip.
Yeah. If he didn't break his ankle, like if he can do that, if he can make it through the entire night, and like I would say probably like midway the morning, like it would probably like the sun would probably like halfway up in the sky.
It was probably
Mhm.
like 10 a.m. ish.
Yeah, or something like he made it pretty far into the morning, but also like all night too, like walking on a broken ankle, like
It
literally
was not
bone
even just
snapped.
broken. It was like black and destroyed by the time we get to see it.
Yeah, by the time we see it, but I think when he snapped at night, the bone was
Yep.
still inside. I think by him just walking it, considering the bones started to just pierce out, like you said, it was nasty
so
looking.
nasty. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's when and while they were walking past, two kids showed up on like
yeah.
bikes, and
It
that's what.
was
Yeah,
so like yeah. There's the farmer sitting on his tractor that was watching them walk by. The kids pull up just in time to see Richard get shot because he
God,
just
yeah.
like
He
it
couldn't. He
was
could. Yeah, he just had to stop walking on his foot. He
yeah.
couldn't take it anymore, so he just
Ugh.
stopped.
Like, can you fucking blame him?
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's fucking like everything they do is just like it is so unfortunate,
yeah, and that was and Junie actually called it. He said he was gonna die halfway through the movie,
I
and sure
literally
enough,
said, yeah,
that was
we
halfway
love
through
this
the
guy.
movie.
Halfway point in the movie, like
I,
smack dab right at the halfway point.
Was a
I
good call.
honestly, I thought the book was gonna be a bigger like story point. Like I thought he was gonna make it towards the end and pass it on and whatnot. Like
Yeah,
some characters did with their stuff. Like we'll talk about that too. Some towards the end, people were like, "Hey, okay, here's my thing. Tell so and so I love them."
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we never got any payoff for the
Clementine.
guy's grandma's chain or whatever. He wanted the chain to go to his grandma or something. We didn't get anything
well,
with that either.
We'll get to that. Yeah,
yeah, we'll
yeah.
get
Well, the
that. We'll
mechanic.
get to
Yeah,
that.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
So-
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually think that this has something to do with what Pete said, and I was gonna hold this until we started the podcast. When Ray breaks for the first time, and he's like, "I'm not gonna be able to make it to the end," blah 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 blah, and then Pete says, "You don't need to make it to the end. You just need to make it to the next thing."
Yeah, think about the now.
Yeah, think
Yeah.
about the now and all that stuff. Every single time one of the boys died, they gave another thing to push forward towards. So it was like, oh, Hank was married. His wife, he was the only one that was married. He had a wife named Clementine. When we win, we'll give her the winnings. Oh, your grandma's out there. When you win, we'll bring your necklace back to her. Oh, your mom is out there waiting for you, Ray. When you win, you'll get to go see your mom again. Like it was always like the next thing that was pushing them to keep going.
Everyone was
okay.
leaving behind their hopes and dreams for the
Yeah,
next
and then
person.
putting them on the shoulders of the next person.
and then leaving their brain matter on the street.
But yeah, that's what
Yes.
happened to Bookman. Moving on.
Yeah.
Before we
I
talk
did want to
about
also
more
say
spoilers.
because we talked about like how this is me kind of just being a nerd.
Yeah.
The journalist character Richard actually did not exist in the book. He was one of the
Aw.
which is such a shame too because he actually was such a like good character.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
seem kind of like I did kind of like him.
I did. I would agree.
He had a little like chipper charm about him. I kind of liked. He was like, "Yeah, man, I just think it's kind of neat." Like I know someone even pointed out, they were like, "Why would you write a book?" Because he was like, "It's gonna sell really well, and like you're gonna have all the money you need. You're not gonna need
Yeah.
it." He was like, "Yeah, but I just still think it would be good to get
I
out
should
there." It's
clarify.
just- yeah,
He did exist in the book, but like his character wasn't as like fleshed
fleshed
out as he
out.
was in the
Okay,
movie. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, that's still kind of sad. I did kind of like him.
It is a shame because he actually was a very interesting character that like
Yeah,
you knew this was going to happen, but like you hated to see it because how well he did,
It's
yeah,
kind of hoping
And one
whenever he.
unfortunate mistake just kind of
yeah.
carried with him.
One too heavy foot down at a wrong angle.
Yeah.
He snapped it, and then he lost. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping he'd throw the book or something to the people in front of him and whatever the fuck. I
Then
don't
that
know.
would
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah, I was hoping for some weird
was gonna hope for
nostalgic
that,
like
too.
that. I don't know.
It's unfortunate, but
Yeah, it is what it
we
is.
got to trudge on. We got to
It's true.
keep doing our walk.
Yeah.
So this is actually one of the interesting turning points because we get to like it's the 100-mile mark roughly, and they actually make it to the first town because like they've basically been walking through this. You can't even say it's rural like area. It's the only thing that this like most of the places they walked through had was just the road. Now we actually have a town they're walking through, and there's like 5 whole people in this town, and like
Yeah.
one of them's a cop. Every store, every house is broken into, run down. There's a kid that's standing in like one of the doorways of a store or something that's missing a leg.
Yeah.
I'd see that. Yeah.
It just it does such a good job painting the world that they're in, you
And
know?
at this point, after the 14 people die, I think they said there was 15 people left,
Yeah.
something around there. He tried to count. He was like, yeah, like 15.
I
He
think he
Yeah.
said.
said 18 or
Hey,
Yeah, I
something.
think it was
he said
18 at this point.
was it 18? Okay,
He does say 15 later, but like
yeah,
this is also the point where we see someone else try to run off the road, tries to run to the
yeah,
store. Again, one of the rules that they were told was like do not step off the pavement, and he did it and got
Gang, gang,
shot.
gang.
There was
yeah.
no warnings.
He did get one warning, and then he stepped off the pavement and got fucking blasted
Mhm.
by machine guns.
It's true.
And he crashed through a. It looks like a diner's like glass door, and he just
Yeah.
fell right through it, basically.
Yeah, he ate shit
I,
real
I
quick.
will say because like I didn't want to like have to say it now, but like one of the actual rules in the book was that like you weren't supposed to mess with like other runners. So like when
Oh,
what's his name was being egged into swinging at him, he was breaking a rule.
Oh,
gotcha.
Technically, they didn't
Wait,
mention that in the movie.
they didn't mention it, but they were counting too. They were giving them like the
They were
broken
giving him
rules.
warnings. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it was still a rule. They just didn't say it.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like some of the things in the movie were definitely like
Okay,
not explained.
yeah.
so I was okay. So I was
Yeah,
right.
you were
Okay,
right when you had made like the call that like okay, there's got to be a rule about that. There was.
yeah.
They just never mentioned it in the movie.
That's fair.
Couple miles up though, this is when we get there. They're talking about like what their wishes are because they mention how there was like a previous winner of the walk that wanted a pet elephant,
Mhm.
and his whole thing was that like they brought the elephant out right there on the spot and he rode that thing off into the sunset.
That's pretty fucking sick.
The way it's explained is that like whatever they want for the because this is why the other issue as well is that like even in the book they explain that like the wish that they get has to be something that like because they when they're talking about what they want for their wishes, Pete basically says like, you know, if I win, I want there to be, you know, that there's two winners on these walks so that you never have to leave a friend behind instead of just the one. And they basically say like, no, you can't wish for that because you can't wish to change the rules
Yeah,
because
and then
they
the
never
Chad
mention
Hank
it.
was like, "I wish for 10 bitches."
He
And
wishes for
10
10
naked
naked
ladies.
women. He wished for
Mhm.
10 naked women. Yeah, that was his
When
wish.
they, yeah, I
And
did like the argument. He was like, "Well, you have money, just can pay for them." And like, yeah, but I just don't want to. He was like, "You do realize someone else is gonna have to pay them, right?
for them to get
For
naked
them
for
to be
you.
naked." Yeah. And he was like, "Wow, oh shit! Actually, I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that. Shit.
Listen,
Shit.
Hank is busy
Okay.
balling. He didn't give a fuck about statistics.
This was also where they kind of like tried to get Ray to talk about what his wish was, and he's trying to be as secret about it as possible.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I just can't. I just the thing that I wish for is gonna hopefully inspire change. It's not gonna be
Hmm.
change. It's gonna hopefully inspire it.
Yeah. Which, you know, in retrospect, yeah, you think his actions would have inspired change potentially, but who knows?
Maybe. You never
Um,
know.
yeah. A couple miles up, like about 30 miles up the way, we get Art almost getting shot because he had to stop to take a shit in the road instead of like keep walking while
Yeah.
shitting.
One of the other
These motherfuckers can walk and shit. It's crazy.
musketeers.
Yeah. Art's the religious dude, by the way.
Yeah.
What's love
Stops
brain?
to take a shit. They have a talk about like you know, like whether like curse words are in the Bible as like something you shouldn't say.
Mhm.
They also talk about how Ray basically talks about how like the big thinkers and philosophers and like what was it, psychologists that would have typically written like all these books and stuff are considered in this timeline, they are actually banned materials.
Yeah.
Like they are not only just illegal to own and stuff, but they are punishable by death.
To
It's
talk about
crazy.
even.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this is when, because Pete's trying to talk to him now, and he's like, you know, hey man, why don't you tell me, you know, I'll take it to my grave. What's your wish? And this is when we find out about Ray's backstory with his dad,
Hmm.
where his dad had taught Ray about a lot of these different band of materials and books, and so the major end is Kill Squad basically drag the dad out into the middle of the street and say that, like, hey, do you want to swear your allegiance to America, or do you want to face death?
It was
And the
very
dad
Warhammer
chooses death.
30K or 40K.
Yeah,
Like, pledge your
it's some
allegiance to the
commissar
Empire
shit
Yeah.
or
right there.
fucking dies.
It
You
was
know,
like some 40K shit. Yeah. I do feel like even if he said, yeah, I would pledge my allegiance, they were going to shoot him either way.
probably.
But
I think it was more about like power over him and
yeah.
asserting their power. So they either get what they want or they kill him. Both.
Again, they go into like they said like I thought like being careful about it, and he was like, yeah, my dad thought he was.
Yeah.
Why would you say that anywhere else besides your own fucking home? Like the only way they found out if Ray said something to like a friend or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they don't go into it. They don't tell you how they found out. They just said they
No.
found out he got shot for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There were some plot holes in different parts of the movie.
It's not like they don't bother touching on it. It's just that, like, they don't touch on it enough.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing too. He was when the first night when he was sleepwalking, and they were going through all that information. They talked about his mother singing lullabies to him, and remembering, that. But then she stopped singing, and it was because the lullaby she used to sing to him was the contraband stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lullaby his mom used to sing to him was in a banned material, basically.
Mhm.
Which is kind of such a horrifying thing to think about,
Yeah.
It's really depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, it didn't feel good to see
Yeah.
like I don't know. It like I keep saying Nazis, but this all just feels like Nazi shit. Everything we go with, it's like book
I mean,
burning and fucking like
it was
occupying a.
it was a repressive army state at this point. Yeah.
This is a military
Well,
dictatorship now.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
dictatorship basically at this point. You're correct.
So, I mean,
This next
if we want to
kill,
like take like a moment to talk about it, right? This is like the 70s, right?
Yeah.
The what war did we have like 19 years prior?
prior
It
to
would not have been
Vietnam,
like
like Korea, probably
It would be the
Korea.
Cuban Missile Crisis with the Cold War, right?
we either like
That's like
I think the
after.
Korean War.
Yeah,
We had
it's like
the
Korea.
Korean War in
Korea's like the
1950.
60s, early 60s, late 50s. Vietnam is in the 70s, late 60s.
Yeah. Because the Cuban Missile Crisis stuff wasn't until the early 60s.
That's in Black Ops. One of them.
The original Black Ops, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We had Vietnam in the early. We had Vietnam in, I think, 1955.
Yeah.
I think that was one of them. Yeah.
I feel
But
like
that
Vietnam
doesn't
wasn't until the
really.
late
They
60s.
don't really. Again, they don't really say what war caused it. They
Yeah,
just say we
Yeah, but you
lost.
could kind of
It's
tell
the
from
Great
their
War.
apparel that they were wearing, and then also the car that his mother was bringing him to the military checkpoint at the beginning felt very 50s to 60s ish.
Yeah.
Well, consider this, right? Like, this is we've confirmed that, like, this is in the 70s. This takes place in the 70s. The war America lost. You wouldn't expect cars to advance much as far as technology goes.
Yeah.
Because we don't like have the capital for it at this point, So like it wouldn't be impossible to look at it and be like, there's Nazi influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they tell you learn about that about Ray's dad, and then that's when Ray tells him his wish when he was neglectful. He was like, "I am going to ask for a gun,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to shoot the general, but here and there, if I win." And that's what that's what Ray's wish was.
Yeah.
That he hopes will change or spark a change.
Yeah. Hoping that by killing the major, maybe people will start to think more freely and not be oppressed by the regime that's overruling them.
Also, the war this is based on is Vietnam.
Okay.
Which
that
I
makes
don't.
more sense.
Which again, if I haven't read the book, but I feel like if you kill him, someone else is just gonna take his place.
Yeah, I feel like
it's
there
not gonna change.
I feel like right
it's
there,
hard to say.
you ask to take fucking the like leadership of the military, the major position, the authority over the people around you, rather than I want that gun. I
Yeah.
Well, I
I
don't
Like I
think
don't.
after not really having good sleep and walking for 334
Yeah.
miles and then watching 49 other individuals die in front of you, you're thinking rationally.
You're
And
not
some you got
wrong.
close
That is a
with. Yeah.
fact. A fair point is what you
Yeah.
want.
You have experienced a lot of shit
Yeah.
up to this point.
Yeah. So you're not thinking clearly, but it's just thinking about it for me. I'm like, okay. I mean, like I see why. Like I see kind of what it is, but it's not gonna. For me, I like that's not gonna do much. You see horrible shit every day in real life, and you're like, yeah, that's gonna spark change. No.
There's a lot about it. Although I want to get to this
Yeah.
next fucking kill because I think this was probably
Yeah.
the best one in the movie.
This was such a really fucking good one. I mean, I did want to also say, like, because, he does try to talk him out of, like, the whole revenge thing.
He
Mhm.
does. He tries to. He's
Yeah.
such a fucking guiding light and a beacon of hope in this movie.
Yeah.
The actor is just fantastic as well. I think that he is definitely the best.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like you got to think big. Yeah, basically, he was trying to talk him out of. He was like, "Your mom, like, what about your mom? Your mom's not gonna want, like, she's gonna be alone. Don't
Yeah.
kill him."
This is fair.
And then you guys can continue. I know you want to get to the death.
Yeah, this is kind of like such a brutal scene. So this is now at about mile 170, I think is what it said.
Mhm.
This is oh boy, we got to see you want to take a tire? I know this is yours.
So this man decides he's going to. What was his reason for doing it? It was something stupid that had already happened before. He
His
said
legs.
his feet. Yeah, it was like
Yeah, his
his feet
feet.
were bleeding, and he was like, I need help, I need help, and he runs over to the tank itself, and he starts like arguing with the officers, like the military officers.
He
They
tried
get
to climb.
yeah, he
They
tries
tried
to
to
climb
climb on
up.
the tank.
He gets in a little fucking spat with him. He falls off. I think he gets shot there. But prior, like they do
No,
shoot him.
he got
He
hit in
got
the face.
hit,
He got butted in the face
yeah,
with the
the
rifle.
butt of
Okay,
the gun
but
hit
okay.
him.
Yeah.
They got rifle butted, and then he falls, and his legs get run over by the tank. And we get such a
Mhm.
beautiful fucking dismemberment of like his knee down
First
on both
warning.
sides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they straight up hit him
yeah.
with the first
You,
warning.
you see the mush that was his legs. They're
Yeah,
like first warning, number
yeah.
57.
He's like, warning three,
Second
please,
warning.
please, please.
And
It's
everyone's like,
fucking
"Why
great.
don't they just fucking kill him?" And they were like, "Third warning. This is your final warning."
It's
Bam.
fucking insane. He has no
You know, he's
legs,
just
no
screaming
like.
the whole entire time. It was brutal.
Yeah. Like basically moments after this, maybe it's a couple more miles or whatever. But we
Yeah, it's
do
about
get
like 30 miles up.
yeah. We get a psychopath man who's just going crazy, strips butt naked, and I believe he just runs off the fucking road essentially. Just like gets
Yeah,
butt fucking naked, runs forward, runs off the road, gets gunned
he
down.
gets shot. Yeah, he's basically going insane. And then you missed. We did gloss over it. He was. They said the guy with the radio.
Yeah,
Uh,
we didn't touch on that one.
The
yeah. So
radio?
basically, they were all talking shit about the long walk
Oh
after
yeah.
the
Oh
big
yeah.
incline. They're like, oh, what are they gonna do? Like, you can't say that. They're gonna kill you. They're like, why? They're gonna kill us if either way if we stop. So what's the point of just not speaking our mind if we're gonna die anyways?
Yeah.
Most of us are. So they were like, yeah, fuck the long walk. And they all started chanting that. And one guy got a radio to work. And that was the
Yeah.
guy who took off his clothes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then ran off hours later.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
So we get to this was like mile 201, I think. So they're at like the 200-mile mark. Strebin or Stebbins, whichever it is. I'm gonna make sure I can get
Killer.
it to memory real quick. No, this wasn't the killer. This
Huh?
was
No?
Stebbins is the
Stebbins.
major's son.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Stebbins. Yep.
he
Mhm.
kind of approaches them and he's like asking Ray if he's like, man, are you tired? Are you sure you're tired? You don't know about tired. Look up there at Hank. And because Hank is just kind of walking hunched over like a fentanyl flop walk. Kind of
He's
thing.
Is this the time when Stebbins is currently being sick, or is that later? Is
A
it-
little
Yeah, they
later.
do
he's
mention that he had like the allergies.
I wanna
Yeah,
say that
like when
was
they were going
later.
through that town, he started to sneeze, and he's starting to look more worse as time goes on. He is
Yes.
sick.
He does
Stebbins.
mention he hasn't been sick in like 10 years and now he has to get fucked over by being sick.
That's
Mhm.
gonna be but yeah, he was talking about the other guy being wary,
Yeah.
haggard. But you
Yeah.
can continue.
So he's basically pointing is like, look, man, Hank is starting to kind of looks like he's ready to give in. We actually see Ray run up to try and like talk to him and be like, hey man, what's going on? Trying to get him to keep going. And this is kind of because like this is at the moment where like he had pulled the gum out of his mouth, and I don't remember if he had like dropped it or if there was nothing there anymore.
Yeah.
Either he like swallowed it or dropped it or didn't get it out of his pocket. But like this is when you know this is kind of his breaking point because he had mentioned he like kind of whispers like the garden it's full of weeds. And whether that's like a symbolic garden of like like the Garden of Eden being full of like evil, because like that's how we kind of look at weeds, is they're invasive, they're evil. Or if this is like a like his own garden at home, because we this was a this was kind of a rough one to watch
Wasn't
because
Yeah.
pleasant.
Hank runs back and he tries to grab one of the guns from one of the soldiers and gets shot in the gut.
Yeah. Not
And
once, but twice. Because they
yeah,
shoot him again and they're like, warning two, and they shoot him again for no reason.
Yeah,
yep,
at first you are kind
Uh,
of like thinking like, okay, well, why does everybody else get fucking warnings, but he's getting shot on every warning?
yeah.
But then we were made to be
And
aware of the fact
they
that
don't.
the acts of rebellion are met with "fuck you, we're shooting you," and
Yeah,
then we're
yeah,
making
because
you bleed
they
out.
don't plan on. They're not planning on killing him. They're planning on just letting him bleed out
Yeah,
because he attempted to try to kill someone,
yeah.
one of the
And
soldiers.
Art runs back to try and kind of like, get him up to keep going.
Hmm.
And even Ray has to run back to grab Art to make sure that he doesn't get left behind too, because now this is the point where they realize that like, yeah, they're just leaving him out to bleed out. This
Hmm.
was sedition, and we're not going to have any of that shit.
Yeah, now he's a message now. They're not going to shoot him in the head to ease the pain. Like even when they get to the final warning, they're just going to leave him there.
I think
Yeah,
of what he was saying. He was like, I messed up"
I
or
thought,
something,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah, he messed up.
But essentially, you hear him saying that until he bleeds out and dies, and you kind of see him stop moving in the silhouette behind everybody. It's really dark actually, but
yeah, because he was screaming as Ray was dragging the other guy away.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
he
because the
was
religious guy
kept
ran
screaming that.
towards
Yeah,
him.
yeah. And so that went on for like a couple minutes. Till you couldn't hear him anymore.
true. Very quick, well, not very quickly, but the next morning, I believe it is. We get to talk about. Eventually, we get to the point where we mention his widow. The Native American man mentions how at one point, whenever they were taking a break or whatever it was like a
Before they got on the transport or whatever, before the long walk even
yeah,
started,
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
like, he told us actually that he has a wife. He's the only person that actually has someone
and he
who had
was
someone.
a fool for coming along because
Yeah,
pretty much everyone else was going it solo because they wanted to improve the lives for their like their mom or their dad or brothers and sisters, whereas he had a wife that was waiting for him at home.
yeah.
yeah. Even though he was probably trying to improve it for
For her too, yeah. It's not
yeah.
like his motivations were bad. It's just that
Even though it was weird that he was gonna wish for 10 naked ladies,
yeah,
I think it was more of
and
a
he had a
cover up
wife.
than anything.
Yeah, maybe
Now that you mention that, that is
because they did say he got made fun of for having a wife.
yeah,
hmm
He did say that, so he probably was trying to cover it, but I'm not sure. It is kind of strange that he did say that. That
yeah,
was
yes,
his wish.
that's
I
pretty
mean, it's
crazy.
like how me and Ty are married, but we're the first persons to flirt with everybody in Discord.
yeah. Same
Yeah.
thing, really.
Yes. Um,
Uh, this is kind of like where I wasn't sure. We weren't sure what was going to happen because like I didn't write down the mile number for this part. This is when Barkovich kind of comes up and he's like, I want to say this is him kind of like trying to repent for what
he
he did.
he is,
Oh, that
yes.
was
Oh
He's
yeah,
early
yeah,
three
because
hundreds.
this is where they all started to be like, oh, he has the wife. Okay, if one of us lives, we give his wife some of the money.
yeah,
He
Takere's
starts
wife,
asking everyone around, and he doesn't ask what's
Markovich.
his name, the killer. Yeah, Berkovich.
Yeah, because he's the one that's ostracized himself from the
Yeah.
group
So
entirely.
Berkovich walks up to Ray, and this is where this part continues.
So Markovich tries to make amends with Ray at first. He tells him like, "Man, I never had a clique in school. I was always the weird one. And why didn't Pete ask me about doing the thing or like joining this group for taking care of Clementine, Hank's wife?" And so Pete goes back. He tries to talk to Pete about. Ray goes back to talk to Pete about having Berkovich join the group. They start talking, and Berkovich walks ahead of them, and he takes a couple steps, and he says basically like, "You're never gonna forget me" or something, and immediately shoves something sharp into his fucking neck and
He
commits
goes, "You'll remember
seppuku.
me forever now, bitches. I'm with you forever."
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know how I feel about the way they like. I don't know why he like. Obviously, his mental
He
state isn't fantastic, but
Yeah, but he
also
definitely felt like he was gonna do something nefarious the whole time because
it
he was
did.
like, "I'm part of the group," and then he was like, "I'm gonna go talk to Pete and let him know that you want in on it," and then he like tried to walk away and he like grabbed him really tight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Like the whole time I thought he was gonna grab him, as we said, and like
do
push him
something.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, push him off into the road or take him with him or
I
something.
even said at
Yes.
that point, I was like, "He's making me really
Yeah.
uncomfortable right now."
Yeah.
Yeah, he did have psychopath
But
energy there.
I think he was just breaking down mentally, and he was just schizo at that point.
Yeah, for
Well, I
sure.
mean, no normal person shanks themselves in the throat twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he get his
You have
3
to be
warnings
really
at least?
dedicated for that one.
But I guess what he was trying to say there that kind of makes sense. Like, I just wasn't part of something. I wasn't like, wasn't with anyone, or never got stuck with people. And so he went in front of them and stabbed himself. Be like, okay, now I'm gonna be with you forever inside your fucking mind because you can't forget me
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, because he was also
I'm
going on
always gonna
about
be with
how
you.
Rank,
Yeah.
every time he closed his eyes, like he would just see Rank and hear Rank scream, like when he
Yeah.
Yeah,
died.
so he's like, that's one way I can make sure they can't forget me, you know. So that's why he kind of ends up doing that,
Yeah.
and
I
then he gets shot.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
had
they
more
give him his warnings.
Yeah, he gave him the warnings. He's bleeding out, and they shoot him.
I had more anticipation for what Berkovich would do. I thought it was going to be more actively nefarious rather than just like
Yeah,
a message.
yeah.
Um
But I mean, like, mind you, they have been walking for like what now,
yeah.
like 4 or 3
Several
days.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
several days, and like, so he's not thinking
He's not
things
thinking. None
clearly.
of them were thinking, and that is
Yeah, yeah.
the biggest part
Not
of the movie.
not thinking nefariously at this point. He doesn't have room to think nefariously.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted him to for sure, but I get it.
Yeah.
Um so we're on to the walk again. We get our friend, the Native American man, back here. We're back with him.
Yeah. This is like I think mile 260 was what I wrote down. So they're talking about everyone's homesick. They're all realize this is when there's only like 5 left, I think, at this point. Or
Yeah.
Mike,
It's-
it's
5 left.
a small number because
Yeah.
I
it
don't
is
think
5 left.
yeah,
It was
everyone's
5.
talking about they're sick and they're scared. You know, they don't know what to do. They're actually finally walking through a town that looks like it has some people in it, and this is where we see one of I don't want to say it's dumb, but like it's dumb in the sense that like you almost got yourself killed dumb because Ray sees his mom and runs up to her trying to apologize and hug her, and they're all like the soldiers are shouting warnings like hey you still got you still got to keep walking.
I thought
And
Native American man died before they got to that town.
no,
But
he dies after, and
Okay.
it is brutal because like then we see because like this was where the Native American guy kind of also had a thing that he was talking about with Ray. I think that also might have been the breaking point for him too because remember he was like you're on your home turf, you can see your family whether that makes it better or not. You get to see that. And the Native American man did not get to see any of his family or any like other people that he might know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh it's he almost gets done in. Pete, obviously the MVP, pulls him off. His mom's like, "Come on, man, we
Yeah.
got to keep walking. Save it for later."
Yeah, Ray was just like, I'm sorry. I just want to hug you. Like, I'm so sorry for all of this. Kept trying to do
Yeah,
that. Yeah, and he got pulled away.
and this is when Strebin, Art, Pete, and Ray are talking about they want to have an agreement. that if shit does go south again, like they got to stop saving each other because
Mm.
someone has to win this eventually. And Ray's kind of like, Pete, you can't keep saving me, man. And this
Yeah.
is when we watch Kali rush down the soldier, rushes down one of the walking soldiers, grabs his gun and shoots him before getting shot a couple of times himself,
Yeah, he got shot in the gut just like the other
just like
guy.
Hank did. Yeah.
Yeah, just like Hank, and they were probably just gonna let him bleed out, just like
Mhm.
Hank. But
Yeah. He
he
had the
saw the
rifle this
gun.
time.
Yeah, he had the rifle this time, so aimed it at himself and shot himself.
Pretty
There.
dark.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like that was
Which
also CG, that kill.
I don't know about that. I know there could have just been blood packs. I'm not sure,
I
but
would say
I'm
that's the
sure that like the
CGI.
muzzle and like the flare and stuff, like you can't have that. You can't have a even a blank go up that close to your face.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't expect
So
that to be a real thing.
it was most definitely some CG in there for that stuff,
No, yeah, I
for
100%
like
see
the
that, but
sparks and all that
I
stuff.
do think that the like effect of the bullet going up through his head, I think that was CG.
Mm, you can do that with practical. I'm not sure. I would
You
have to go back
could.
to
It
see
just
if
didn't look like it to
that
me.
was or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, not that big a deal if they use one CG thing, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I did have a thing about that because they kind of it didn't happen fast. So he pulled the gun off and shot the one soldier, and I
Yeah.
feel like he most definitely had time to fucking bob weave, go over, he wants shoot again. But he kind of like it was like 5 seconds to 10 seconds he didn't do anything and then got shot in the
Yeah.
stomach. I was like, okay, I feel like he could have done more because because they were like coming off in front of him, like starting to walk towards him, and he was like, I was like, you could shoot more than just that one guy.
Yeah, I thought if you're gonna go, just fucking take a couple more with you.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he wasn't. For some reason, he didn't do it. I like he just stopped there. He was like frozen after he killed that one guy. But yeah, then it continues, and then this is where
This is
I
where,
think
yeah.
religious guy,
Art.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, who's like, well, why am my nose bleeding? I don't understand. And then it skips a little bit
He had
further.
he had had a nosebleed
Yeah,
prior, and the nosebleed never stopped, like,
yeah,
draining. And whether this is from, like, some type of brain bleed or
Anemia, etc. We don't know.
yeah, it's such a it it really fucking hurts because, like, you're seeing this man who was, like, who's been with you literally from the beginning. Like, you
yeah.
are now in the final four. It was I think it was like a hemorrhage or something that he had, but, like, he kind of just, was like, "Hey guys, I know it's my time. Will you?" He gives them the cross that
Yeah,
he wanted to give to
yeah.
his grandma.
Ray, and oh god, why I keep blank on his name?
Pete.
Pete?
Pete?
Pete, yeah, Pete, are holding him up. Like they're
Yes.
on each side of him, holding him up, like walking with him, making sure he's safe pace. And there's like, this is it, man. I can't do this anymore. And, like, I want one of you guys to make sure you get this necklace, his cross, to his grandma. You can promise me if you win, give it to her.
Yeah. Would
The
have thought
the,
it'd
the
been a
most
And
very
also, don't watch me get executed.
Yeah, and don't
yeah,
watch me get executed, please. You got to promise me that. And
yeah.
he fights Pete and Ray. They try to be like, come on, just a little bit further. We want you to stay with us. And he shakes them off, and he just stands there, walks towards them.
It's so fucking painful,
Yeah, he
yeah.
walks towards the soldiers.
Was sad for sure. Keeps seeing these characters that you get this little bit of a connection with, and you're like, oh man, I like that guy.
It's such a shame because, like, in a traditional horror movie, right? It's like you might be aware that, like, the characters are gonna die based on, like, their trope and stuff,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but a lot of the times too, they also do, like, make a stupid mistake or something, or like someone
Yeah,
left the door open and a zombie gets in and get them. This was literally just like the entire point of this was that they were going to
It's
die.
not
Like
if he dies,
49
it's
of them
when
were
he
going to die.
dies. And
yeah,
Yeah.
you're still hoping for some act of God to stop the death. But like
and it just
it is
mhm.
only one of them who survives. It's like the
Yeah.
Hunger Games once again. But like even in the Hunger Games, people survived.
Yeah, they in the
Yeah,
Hunger Games they let the fucking tree kid, uh, they let him live
Yeah.
because they were like, oh, we can't have no one win.
Yeah, well, that's
Ah,
what they even talked about that too. Uh, when it was just three of them, like, what if we just all three of us stop at the same time?
Yeah.
yeah.
What would it do?
This is actually the point that that talking point was what they're getting to now, because this is
Mhm.
finally they're at the last stretch.
Top 3,
They're on this
baby.
bridge,
Mhm.
and
Wanna put-
they're talking about like what happens if all three of us just decide to stop, and Strevin's like, man, no, the little watches we're wearing are so precise that it's not gonna matter. They'll know.
Yeah,
And
they'll
they're
know
like,
like one
well,
of you guys didn't stop like 0.5 milliseconds than the other one, and you win,
yep.
basically.
And they're like, well, how do you know that? And he's like, he refers to himself as the rabbit, like the rabbit at like the mechanical rabbits you would see at like dog races and stuff
Mhm.
that they use to like get them to chase it. He was that rabbit in this case, but instead of being the machine, his body is flesh and blood, and he can feel it. The sickness that he had earlier, a couple days past, has gotten bad. Fluids draining into his liver, or like filling his liver, and his lungs are getting full. He knows it's his time, and he says, "If I'm gonna die, I want to die standing." Because this is
Yeah,
also the point where he basically tells them that, yeah, he's the major's son. Big spoiler. We totally didn't see that coming in
yeah,
the first
bastard
5 minutes.
son. And he
The
tell yeah,
bastard son, mind you, one of
yeah,
many.
one of many. And his wish was he wanted to be invited into his dad's house and have tea.
Which is
Which is
like,
very British,
I
but they are
mean,
not.
yeah, they're not. They're supposed to be American, but it's like we said it earlier that like whenever one of them dies, they're passing on their wishes, their hopes and dreams onto the next person.
Yeah.
Hopefully that they bring it with them. And now we're reaching the finale where it's just the last two people. It's Ray and Pete. They're even talking about it like, all the entire crowd's lined up here.
Yeah,
This is what they're waiting for.
before the bastard son dies, he was like, "Listen, you guys better just keep walking when you get to that town. They want to see the general, like do the final kill. Like, you just don't mind them. Don't look at the other people. Just keep walking." And then yeah, he stops, and eventually he gets shot as well. And then now it's the last two.
Which this is also because like I'm being a huge nerd about it again. This was
Yeah.
also one of the major plot differences, was not only the order how they died, but who dies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because now we're at the finale. It's Pete and Ray. They are walking uh, to it. Pete just kind of decides, like, for himself that he's gonna sit down. He intended to sit down and accept his fate, but Ray tries to get him up to keep walking. And this is actually like such a, I don't want to say it's a twist, but it was like such a good change, I think. Because
I
we
would say it's a
see,
twist.
I genuinely didn't expect it.
Yeah, I thought it was a
yeah,
good twist.
yeah, because this is where we see uh Ray picks him up, and they're trying to walk together, and then we see like he's pushing him on his way. Ray sits down and accepts his fate, and actually is the one that gets shot in his place.
He doesn't
Yeah.
even sit, he just stops walking.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
stops walking, gets shot, and this, because now that they've confirmed who the winner is, the soldiers are trying to push Pete away to be like, hey, it's time. And so the major walks up, and he's like, I may God acknowledge your bravery when you make it to heaven, and finishes off Ray. It is
Yeah.
so fucking like, I did like it. I did like this ending. It was just,
The one thing that I did like to mention too that we didn't the whole time uh he was like, "Do you ever have a brother, Ray?" And he was like, "No." "Well, you got one now." And at the end there, he was like, "Come on, brother." And that's when he picked him up and like started to like walk behind him, like push him, like continue. And that's when so but it was a real, like,
It was sweet.
yeah, it
yeah,
was a very sweet moment. Made you care, like, oh, they actually like had a brother in each other at that
yeah,
point. And he was like, "I want you to survive." You got what you wanted.
And then the final torch was passed when
Yeah.
they grant Pete's wish, and Pete's wish was Ray's
Yeah.
initial wish.
he wants the carbine.
He went the carbine.
Got
He
to
was
bet that
like,
down.
"Will people?" And the general was like, "It will be provided." He was like, "No, I want that one." And he pointed towards the soldier.
It's yeah.
Yeah, and
So
continue.
he asks for the carbine that's on the soldier's back and immediately points it at the major. And the major is trying to like talk him down. He's like, "No, son, you haven't done anything wrong just yet. Don't throw this all away. You've got so much money waiting for you. There's so much you can do with it." And at least what we see Pete pull the trigger and gun down the major, and then he turns around and starts walking into the empty street ahead of him.
Yeah, there was a lot of people around at the time when they made it to like
There was
towards
no
the
way
end,
he made it out of that alive.
and so when it's a scene and it pans around him and he starts walking and stuff like that, there's no one there. It everyone
It's
else,
like he's
I don't know what it's implied, but it is, I guess it's implied that he died or he got
it's
shot.
you can assume he died, and it's not open ended, but it's very unanswered
Yeah.
because you want to hope that maybe what he did have an impact on the world like Ray would have wanted.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you never get the answer if that did have an impact. You don't get any. You just see him walk off into an empty street, and
Hmm.
that's it. He just keeps walking, and that's one of the things too. What they mentioned before, he was like, because why he wants Ray to win. Like he was like, I've been walking my entire life. You know, that's all I've done.
Yeah.
That's how he ends too. So
It's,
it leaves a lot. It's there's no concrete ending. You don't know. You
no.
can infer that he got shot, and that's like maybe him walking to the afterlife. You don't know. You don't know if anything that happened had any meaning. You don't know. Someone found that one guy's book and posted it and got the money instead of him. Like you just don't know anything.
Yeah. It'd be a nice little fucking trek to go and look through all the fucking like an actual like trip along the road they took and just go
Yeah.
see all the different fucking like items they left and I don't want to say the fucking
Yeah,
dead
you
bodies,
don't know
but
if yeah, and all the stuff that was passed down, the necklace, the taking, you don't know if any, you don't know,
You
I
you
don't
don't know
know
mean,
if
if
there's
yeah,
any
we'll
I mean,
eventually
I
get
kind of
onto
really
it.
like the
resolution.
symbolism behind it though, because when Pete raises the gun to fucking what's his
the major.
face,
Major.
the major,
Yeah.
uh, and he's like, "You got your whole life ahead of you, untold riches, blah 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 blah." The whole movie, he's been doing nothing but walking forward, and that's the like one part where like that's like his sit down moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Like I'm just going to pull the trigger. You're going to die, and then he's gonna walk his own path."
There's some stuff, as Ray was saying, more important than money.
Yeah.
Like how his dad got killed for. Like there's just some things that you just gotta, even though you know you're gonna die for it. There's some things you just gotta do.
And Pete finally had a family and wanted to do for them rather than himself.
Yeah.
Whenever he finally had the opportunity to do something for himself, it just like this really, it just really shows the amazing character that he is. Definitely like the highlight of the movie for sure. Besides fucking Hank's stupid shit he says at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hank's Hank's stupidity and his little fucking quirky little one-liners were fantastic for sure.
we love
He
it.
was,
I
he was like
I don't know what's wrong with that.
Sasha
I
from
loved him.
Attack on Titan. That's how I looked at Hank. Sasha
I
from
loved
Attack on
I loved
Titan.
Hank so much.
He was
That's
he was the comic relief, and then when you kill the comic relief off, everything is like much darker, and that's what they did for the final season.
yeah, you're not
He was
wrong.
he was my little Boston champ.
Your little
I
pom
liked
champ.
him. My little
Boston
Boston
boy.
champ.
Hey,
Um,
bitches.
I do this because is again me just being a nerd because this is one of the major differences from the book was towards the end. It literally actually was like quite a different scenario in the book because what happens is Pete actually like before they even get to the finale just decides to sit down and accept his fate because he's done walking. And this is when, they've been walking for 5 days at this point. It's now Ray and Stebbins, and Stebbins at this point has now told Ray the truth that, like, he was the bastard son of the Major. And they keep walking through the day. Ray is kind of like, Ray's ready to give up. He's also finally reached this point where he's like, he's ready to accept his fate.
Mhm.
And walks up to Stebbins to tell him, he's giving up. It's time that because he can't win, because there was this figure. This is also kind of the thing in the book that like a lot of people did have a bit of like a moment about. There was a shadowy figure in the book that basically told Ray that Stebbins was unbeatable, that Stebbins was going to win, and this is when Stebbins kind of, as Ray walks up to him, Stebbins kind of turns to him and says, "Oh, Garrity," and then actually just dies right there on the spot, and that's how Ray wins.
Interesting,
And
different.
it's a weird ending because like then Ray is like, he's still confused by everything. Everyone is around him celebrating and stuff, and he's like walking towards it. The Major actually tries to stop him and is like, you won, son. You've got, what do you want your wish to be? And Ray just kind of says, "What are you talking about? There's still running to be done, or still walking to be done," and actually starts running off down the road, following the shadowy figure.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds
Once I
like
heard that,
Stephen.
I feel like that would be, even the ending of the movie was like, I wish there was more, but it kind of like gave you like, at least they got him. Like, a sad, satisfactory ending. Like they killed the bastard. Like, okay. The book ending is like, what the fuck was that?
It genuinely seems like the beginning of Stephen King's cocaine era, to be honest with you.
Probably.
I think this was made in '79 or some
I
shit.
don't know.
Like the
Yeah,
book.
when was this book made?
The book was, I think I read
1979, I think.
1979.
So this is like
Okay.
right on the precipice of like the beginning of Stephen King's Coke era. So he's just like sitting in a fucking boardroom sniffing Coke off a fucking glass mirror. Like, so what if we made a book about walking and walking real fast? And if you don't walk, you die. Then he made fucking, what's that, Turbo? What the fuck is that Turbo? I remember talking to you about it. We
I
were in
don't
the
know.
fucking Barnes
So
and
you
Noble.
are 100% correct. Stephen King
I forget.
is known to start doing cocaine around 1979, continued for about 8 years, roughly through the 80s. He stated that the addiction was a significant part of his life during that decade and only ended by intervention with his family and friends.
Nice.
So 8 years starting from 79, and this book came out in 79, which means he definitely was
He
on
started
something
cocaine that
ridiculous.
year.
I told you. And then he made
This
a
man-
fucking Maximum Overdrive, which is just the most
Well,
shitty movie ever. Where
This
they're
man
just
was
like,
bumping rails and was like, "What if a dark spirit told him that his opponent
Gotta
was
keep walking.
immortal?"
Okay, well, I mean, if he started in '79, the book came out in '79, so he wrote it before he started doing cocaine.
No, he's
Unless
on
he's
cocaine. He just wrote it in like a fucking 45-minute.
45 minutes. Okay, fair enough.
it was Stephen King still, so he could just literally write
Yeah.
anything, and then the fucking producers would just be like, "Take it, run it."
Yeah. I mean, he
Twist
is
it.
a very prolific author. He has written a lot.
Yeah, and when you write a lot, there's a lot of
There's a lot of shit too. Yes.
misses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say it. There have been some pretty
Don't get me wrong. There are some really good Stephen King books.
Yeah.
But
I think he would
there is
also
a lot
say
of
that
them.
he made some
Then when I
shit.
say there are some pretty good books.
He does seem pretty down to
Oh,
earth with
okay.
like the shit he did.
No, so he wasn't on cocaine when he wrote this.
Oh,
I see.
Apparently, he initially wrote The Long Walk between
Yep.
1966 and 1967 during
Told
his
ya.
freshman year at college,
damn.
and then completed it through a manuscript, and then was later published in 1979 under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman.
Yeah, that's one of
So
his
he didn't
pseudonyms.
even have it put out as a Stephen King
No.
book. He used a pseudonym for it.
What a
He
bitch.
liked to do that.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna say
mind
it.
you, yeah, Stephen King has more books than what Stephen King wrote. Technically, it's just underneath pseudonyms. So he has a lot more books.
That's fair. Let's wrap this up. If you guys want to give your fucking final impressions.
Oh yeah, because I know you had some opinions that like let's hear your opinions on it, Tyro, first, because
We did
I
talk about it
know-
at the beginning,
Yeah, we did.
I know
which we
did,
should have
but I-
saved it.
We
but-
got most of my shit out. It's just that I
Yeah.
felt like there just wasn't enough to the movie for me. I felt like it was just missing so many things. I feel like whatever with the characters, we talked about that, but fucking
Yeah.
I just felt like there were so many plot points where I was just like, why? And sure, we can excuse things of lack of sleep, etc.
Mhm.
I don't know. I was disappointed. I thought the movie was shot really well. I thought the effects that were in the movie were really good. I kind of liked the I kind of like the idea of the plot itself, but I did not think that
Yeah.
the plot was actually brought out well enough. I don't think that it was executed very well. Um, I didn't not enjoy it, but this is a movie that I would never watch again. And you could rub sandpaper on my cock and balls, and I would tell you go fuck yourself.
So
Um,
final rating for yourself?
I'm gonna give it a 5,
5.
Okay.
5 out of
So
10.
average,
I'll give
average
it an
movie.
average.
Okay.
It did some good things for itself, but I don't. I, it's not a banger for me. And
Yeah.
everybody else in the Discord seemed to be disagreeing with me, so I just shut my fucking mouth and we'll see what you guys think. What do you give it?
Uh, I mean, I'll go ahead. I actually did enjoy the movie despite the changes from the book, and admittedly, like I didn't need like the conflict. You know, like I didn't crave the conflict of this because the real conflict of this was that like there's these set of rules, and it's literally just walk or die, and it's there's such totality to it. It's like that's all there is to it, and that's all you need. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I do like a
at
simple
least in
plot,
my
but
eyes.
like I just
No,
don't
I'm
dig
not
it.
saying your opinion's wrong or anything. Just
I am.
that's kind of well. That you could
No,
say that when it's your turn.
Okay.
Say it when it's your turn.
I just specifically
Sorry.
I like a lot of the ideas of like a one room simple plot story with like
Mhm.
the twist, etc. This was
Yeah,
not that for me. Continue.
it's I give it a solid either like 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
Doing it. 7 or 8. Okay.
Yeah,
Danny.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like a 7.5. I thought it was really well made.
I
Okay.
think you're really well made, you big cutie pie.
Ooh,
I'll
la
be
la.
flirting with you.
Kiss on the podcast.
Mwah.
Uh, but yeah, no, I would probably give it like a 7.5. Because it was really good. It was above average for me. I did enjoy it. It was pretty simple, straightforward movie. Like you have walking. That was the point. You gotta keep walking. You gotta walk at this pace or you die. You got three. Pretty simple concept. That's why the book ending kind of weak. Like I'm like okay, it's just some supernatural thing at the end there. I don't know. That's why I don't like that. I like the movie a lot more. I don't need and with there not being like twists and turns. Like I said, the Ray part at the end was kind of like the big twist
Yeah.
for me. Even if, especially if you like Junie read the book, you did not expect that one. You see him sit down, you're like, oh, okay, so that's didn't exactly happen when it was supposed to, but he still sits down and he's gonna get shot.
yeah.
But it like jukes you on that one.
I
Uh,
do like that.
but throughout the movie, I didn't need like big twists and turns. Like Jane was saying, the whole concept was like, I need to survive this one simple concept, and that is keep walking through rain, through this, through the hot weather, through my shoes, my soles and my shoes falling. I'm getting the blister. Like it's about the human like will to like I have to keep moving, and that's what one of the guys kept saying. Like, is it think about the now, keep moving. Don't think about now or like what you can do. Just keep going. And that was the concept. Even if you could tell, like we could tell, like that's gonna be the general's son. Doesn't like sure you're not gonna be gasping at it, but it doesn't diminish like the intrigue or like the interest or the characters at all. For me, at least.
I do think that part of it why it was like such an easy predictable thing is that in the medium of the book
Yeah,
it's not like as obvious, whereas this it
yeah,
was like okay, yeah, when he says like good luck out there son, that feels like okay, that's kind of like a
yeah.
quick tip of the hat to it.
And when he says there's no one else, yeah, like, but also if you're not like really lasered in focused on the movie, you know, you'd be like, okay, he's old timey. He's just gonna say good luck out there, son.
Yeah,
But you know.
I felt like there
As it
needed to
more went
be
on, because
something.
he looked more soldiery. Like he was the
Yeah.
only one that looked like he had an extra pair of shoes on his backpack. Like he was prepared the way he talks about it. Like
Yeah,
then
like the
yeah, you
same
can you
mustache
really
and shit
refer.
as his dad as
Yeah,
well. Like you can tell he has this like envy flash, like he looks up to him, he respects him, he wants his approval.
yeah, because he was like, yeah, you can't say that about the general. You know, you can't whatever. But yeah, so the lack of twists and turns weren't an issue. So I would give it a 7.5. I found all the characters pretty interesting.
Junior, why does it look like your
That they
model's getting the
showed.
sloppiest toppy of their fucking life right now?
I had to sneeze, sorry.
Oh,
He is.
I do
But
that
yeah,
sometimes.
it was a good movie. And if someone told me they're like, "Hey, I'm kind of interested," I would watch it again.
All right.
You know,
I li-
just for anything. If you like the kills, if you like the effects, for that alone, even if you didn't like it too
Even
much.
as the guy who liked it the least here, I would say that give it a shot. May like it. Uh, the chances are, based on what I'm seeing, you guys probably will like it more than I did. Maybe I'm just
The,
too
the
cynical.
I think the real question is like, and I'll give my opinion. Should you read the book or watch the movie? I say watch the movie, honestly.
I mean, from
There
what
you
you
go.
said, that yeah, definitely sounds
Yeah,
right.
but
I
but what I heard, I would probably say movie. But
Yeah,
think you guys.
I thought it was an overall enjoyable movie to watch, especially like for the shock value
yeah,
of
Yeah, it was
because you
something
have these
different.
moments of like young child innocence where it's like they're just a bunch of rowdy teens messing with each other, and then it's like, and then this one's fucking ankle snaps in half and
and they
is
get shot.
trying to, yeah, and then gets shot,
Yeah.
and it, the way that they all died, like this was another thing going into their characterizations where we were kind of talking about how they kind of fit the stereotypes, but in a way, and Tyro said that they wish that they did more with them because they felt shallow. I feel like every single one of their deaths were acted out in such a way that you're like, oh man, oh, I really don't want this to happen. Like you
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
like you were kind of walking with them,
Yeah.
like
In a way, yeah. You wanted to see them keep going.
yeah, you're like, oh no, like you like I know that feeling when I have diarrhea and I need to shit really bad, or I know that feeling where I'm so fucking tired, or if I'm sick, or my fucking legs hurt, or I get a
If you haven't
fucking
done a
Charlie
marathon,
horse, or yeah, like you just all of that situation and like seeing them like try to like help each other rather than hinder each other, like
I know that feeling whenever I want
it,
to kill myself in the road in front of all my friends that I don't know.
yeah. I mean, nothing bonds you faster than a fucking carbine to the back of the head.
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's all my thoughts.
All
yeah,
right, game. Bro, that'll be the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching the Degenerates podcast. I will put all of our links in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and be back soon, I'm sure. I have some ideas for another episode. Junie has suggested a few things for sure. I'm excited about some things. One of the things I
I
was talking about
do.
was I want to
Lakers.
watch one of the VHSs.
Yeah, we were talking about watching a movie called Shelby Oaks, which did just kind of come out over here in the U.S. We were talking about a couple of different things. Like we were actually talking about watching a YouTube ARG. I've mentioned that before, I think, on previous episodes, and I would love to actually have us all sit down and talk about it and watch it because it looks like such a fun thrill ride, you know?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
that'd be
always
down.
down.
Hell yeah.
I will say this
What?
though, it's 2:30 in the morning for me, and
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
been up since 6 a.m. yesterday, so
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
That is
Bye.
good.
We love you all.
Goodbye.
Mwah.